welcome back to MTD CNC USA. And I'm here with my buddy Misa, and we're going to talk about automation, but from a completely different angle. If you're watching TV, turn that off right now. If you're watching this video, turn that volume up because we have something amazing to share with you. Now, have you ever heard of an automation or robotic insurance company? Something that will protect you, take care of you, make sure that you're supported. That's kind of what we're doing here with Misa and Formic. So, I'm gonna let Misa be the wise professional that he is before I mess this all up and let him explain what's going on. But honestly, if you are a small to medium shop, if you are looking at automation and you need the support, but maybe you don't have that capital overhead, pay attention. This is amazing. Misa, thank you so much for being a part of MTD.
Thank you, Tony. It's a pleasure to be with you, and thank you so much for taking the time. Like Tony said, we are a robot as a service company. We help manufacturers who don't have the upfront investment or the capital to deploy automation, and they're afraid of new technologies, get it started with automation without taking any risk. That means we will deploy a fully turnkey system at your shop floor without any upfront cost to you, and you only pay where the system actually works. You pay us a small hourly rate for getting this equipment up and running, and all the service and maintenance and programming that comes with any piece of equipment without having to worry about who's gonna do it. It's all on us. So this came to me because I worked for a robot company for 3 years, and I walked thousands of manufacturing facilities, especially the small and medium-sized companies who desperately needed automation but were afraid of making the investments, and also were not necessarily equipped to maintain it and service it and program it and deploy it. But at the same time, a lot of them were struggling to find reliable labor to come in and man their machines. Caused a lot of downtime, caused a lot of low efficiency on the equipment they had on their floor. And I had an epiphany. I said, what if somebody else take all the risk? What if somebody else pay for all the equipment and manufacturers just pay for performance? They only pay when the equipment runs. And that's what started on me on the path of starting Formic. And I'm one of the co-founders, and our company Formic does exactly that.
Yeah, I agree. And guys, what I want to do real quick is, because I've had the pleasure to sit with Misa before this, I'm going to break this down to the level that he broke it down to when I got incredibly excited about this. Here it goes. You ready? I have a machine shop. I don't have the overhead or the capital investment, but I know for a fact I need to get into automation. I have to. I have to in order to compete. I have to get jobs out. I have to for safety reasons. I have to get my creative people back to getting creative and removing the mundane. I need automation in my facility. Man, it's freaking expensive sometimes, isn't it? Misa and his company take on all that responsibility until it's actually functionally working on your job floor, and that is when you will start paying, is when you start making money as well. So Misa takes all of that responsibility from you and allows you to become an automation success with very little to no responsibility of that investment. To me,
exactly,
it's so powerful what you guys have decided to do, and I am really grateful to be the first one, I think, and if not one of the first ones to share this story with the global audience. Guys, small shops, medium shops, even large shops, if you want that type of insurance, this is the company to go to, this is the guy to go to. Well, we've talked about automation, Misa, and we obviously have a UR right here that we're standing beside, but you don't just work with UR. Well, I'm going to use Universal, but you are universal in the way of the robotics, right? You work with everyone.
Absolutely. So we would work closely with the customer to figure out what type of equipment their application needs. It might be a collaborative robot like a Universal Robot. It might be a 6-axis industrial FANUC, Yaskawa, KUKA, whatever that application needs. It might not even be a robot. It might be a gantry system. We would try to find the best, most fitting solution for that application. We're not trying to provide something that they don't need. We're trying to find the most cost-effective, most reliable solution for that specific application, whether it be welding, machine tending, packaging, assembly, inspection, whatever that might be, we could work with them to spec in the right equipment. I think one of the main advantages of working with a company that, in a way that we offer the service, or a robot as a service company, is there's no limitation on the number of tasks that you could automate. Oftentimes when I see people want to get started with automation, they say, maybe we'll start with one, but I really need 50, but I just can't afford 50, or I don't want to take that risk. When you work with us, we could provide you with 50 automation pieces of equipment that, from day one, without you having to worry about what if one of them doesn't work. So we completely take that risk, and I think it helps you scale as quickly as you need to. And we're there with you. If your needs change 6 months down the road, a year down the road, your parts change, we only get paid if the system works. So we want to make sure it works and adapts to your needs. So, but with that being said, we are active on LinkedIn. You could find us at Formic Technologies. You could find me, Misael Ketchi. I'm on LinkedIn. We constantly post articles. And shoot us an email or visit us at Formic, Formic.co, Formic.co.
Awesome, Misa. And I'm going to close this out with one last thing, guys. You could probably tell that we're sweating a little bit. We're in a building with no AC outside of Chicago that's around 100 years old, still doing stamping all over the place. As you can see behind me, they have their first robot. Misa helped supply this first robot. We're talking about how do we keep up. I was told that the largest competitor comes from China. Well, how do we keep up with that? That's through automation. But they didn't have the overhead to invest into it, but they got the first one. Misa supported them with that, and they have 3 or 4 more on the way for other things like welding. So we're talking about all stamping that's going on here, all manual loading and unloading. And I want to add and reiterate, these people, when the robots come in, will not be losing their jobs. They're just going to get away from the danger, from the flames and the fumes that are going up into their brain that nobody wants, to move into a position where they can be creative again and they're just not constantly loading and unloading. Don't be afraid of those jobs. Learn how to get into automation. Utilize Misa and his company as well, and you can get into it quickly, be supported. I really don't see any downsides. So comment on this post if you want. I don't see anything bad. Misa, you are amazing.
Thank you
for
Tony.
sharing that story with the global audience.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.